Hey everybody, what's up? Mark Maya here. I'm going to be talking about my wedding photography packages right now. I do apologize. My lawn maintenance guy just walked up and he's mowing my lawn. So if that is a problem, sorry. So, anyways, I'm going to be talking about some of the problems that I've had with my wedding photography prices, my packages, dealing with clients. I'm going to show you my old pricing that I just switched over to my new pricing from literally yesterday. And I actually had two wedding consultations last night that I revealed those new pricing points to, and I'll talk to you about that as well and why I did that. Okay. Um, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about, are there other wedding photographers that you know that are friends that would benefit from learning more about how to price their wedding photography packages? If you do know someone, if you will share that event right now, there's a share button somewhere on your screen. Love for you to share that with them or any other groups that you think would benefit from this right now. I'd really appreciate that. If you have questions during this short live event, there's a little chat area over there. Throw them in there and I will try to answer them time permitting. Okay. I'm going to be done by 11 a.m. because I do have a shoot that I have to leave for right after this video. So, anyways, I hope you are having an amazing day. So, reason why I decided to create this event for y'all. I'm probably similar to you in that I have dozens and dozens and dozens of stories where in my basement days, years ago, I have wedding clients contact me and they're like, hey, what are your prices? And I send them a link right back to my packages. And then what happens? They ghost, or they respond and say, oh, sorry, that's out of my price range. And then they're out. And then what happens with me? I say to myself, I suck. No one will pay for what I'm asking. Well, then what do I do? Because I tell myself that. I lower my prices and I pray I get somebody using the same tactic next time with just lower prices. And then what happens? Still no bookings and I feel stuck. I'm like, what the hell do I do? You might feel similar to that. That is a big, big problem in our industry. I've talked to many photographers that struggle with this. Clients are literally price shopping, and they're trying to find a photographer solely based off of that number, okay, rather than the things that we know are valuable about us and our business. Your personality, your specific unique style, your experience, things like that. These aren't things we communicate in that initial email. So that's one of the reasons I think that we are faced with this problem right now in our industry. Okay. So here's how I got over that stuck feeling. Okay. Here's the considerations that I had to think about. Number one, I had to regroup and go back. Why am I a wedding photographer? What is it that I want to provide to my clients? And how do I want to provide it to them? So basically my mission and my values. So my mission is to provide really real, authentic, emotional moments where I capture them for my clients. Okay. And I want my clients to feel that when they experience my work. I want them to feel that when they talk to me. So that was the first thing I had to reconsider. So second thing, I had to do some research. Okay. So I had to research my local market value for other wedding photographers like me with similar experience as me. Okay. So I had to be like, okay, when I first started, I was like, okay, I have one wedding that I did for a friend, and here's the blog. Okay, so that's all I had when I started off. So I had to look at other photographers with my same experience. What are they doing, and how are they getting weddings? Okay. Then I also had to look at the photographers that I wanted to be like. The guys who had been doing it 5, 10, 15, sometimes 20 years. What are they charging? If you're in Creative Commonwealth, my new community, actually, I have one of my members was a huge help for me years ago during my basement days. Les Atkins. He actually straight up sent me his pricing, and he's an OG here in North Carolina, and he's killing it. He's a full-time wedding photographer and he's been doing it for a long time. He was actually somebody who allowed me to second shoot with him when I first started. So try to reach out to other people and be like, hey, could you share your pricing with me? And I'll show you mine in just a moment as well. So figuring that out, how much my client values photography over vendors. This isn't something that we think about very much. And thank you, Krista. I appreciate that. So I add in a question inside of my contact form for leads. I say, what is it about my photography that resonates with you? So I want to know that they've actually looked at my work, that they've experienced it, that they have some type of feeling with it. And I want to know that feeling. And now at this point, I've experienced the responses from that so much and have tweaked that question so much and that form so much that I am very, very clear on what my work resonates and which type of images creates the feeling that I want to create, and that emotional, happy, connected, real, authentic feeling. Okay. So when I was able to communicate that to my clients clearly, when they saw my work, then I was able to leverage that type of feeling, that emotion, into a specific price point, a higher price point. Okay. And I hope that makes sense. If y'all have questions, throw them over there with that. So then I had to ask, am I doing everything I can to communicate that my prices are in alignment with my services that I provide, or that I believe the value of my services provide? Okay. The answer for me at that time was no. I realized that me just throwing a link back to clients who are willing to pay a wedding photographer thousands of dollars is probably not the most effective way to get them to pay me thousands of dollars. So I had to rethink that. And that's what led me down the client experience road. I've spent thousands of hours now researching this, experimenting with this over the past half decade, figuring out why, hey, Jennifer, figuring out why I and we as 1 year, 2 year, 3 year DIY wedding photographers, why is it that we all have this same experience? And it turns out that there's a lot of research now, and it points to it's because our clients don't feel good when we just throw a link at them. Why? Because that communicates that they're not worth our time. Does that make sense? Because think about your best friends, your partner, your kids, anybody that you have a real relationship with. What communicates that they care about you when they come up and talk to you, when they look at you in your eyes, right? Those are the type of things that communicate value in humans. Okay? It's no different with when we're asking clients to pay thousands of dollars to us for taking photos of them. Okay, we have to make them feel that way. That's one of the keys that I have learned has helped me be able to increase my prices. And again, I literally just increased my prices yesterday, and I'm going to show you that package in just a little bit. If you're in Creative Commonwealth, my community, you actually have a link to my old pricing sheet and my new pricing sheet right there in the event, so you can click on that. Okay. If you're not in Creative Commonwealth, you can go to community.markmaya.com and check it out. Okay. So here we go. So I had to rethink when, where, why, and how my clients get introduced to my pricing. So this is what I did. And it's so simple, but it's also really scary in the beginning because we're not used to it. Okay. And it was really scary for me too. So as soon as I got a lead, I would call the client on the phone. I would never email them back. I pick up my phone instantly, and I have their number right there. I tap on it, I call them, and have a quick conversation about their wedding, about the information they left in the contact sheet, and then I tell them, hey, I'm so excited to reveal my package to you and tell you about them and tell you what I do in my business and what I love doing and how I can help you. Let's set up a face-to-face meeting so I can go over the details of that. And they're gonna some people are gonna be like, well, I'm really just looking for prices, and I'll say, well, my pricing starts at $2,000, but my business policy is that I don't reveal all, or I don't use the word reveal anymore, but I don't I don't just oh good I don't just um, send my prices to potential clients, because I want to be able to explain those in detail so you can really understand them and also ask me questions on the spot. So I try to communicate that, hey, it's beneficial to you to meet me face to face so I can go over this stuff with you. Okay. And if they're not okay with that, then that's it. The relationship ends. Because what does that mean? That means that they were just price shopping and they're not actually interested in finding a photographer, a human that has passions and a personality and character and has a story. Okay. So that's one of my boundaries that I create to help meet with clients that are willing to pay my price point. Okay. And since I have started doing that this year, I've had about, I think after last night, I've had about a dozen face-to-face consultations. And at this point, I've only not booked one of them through that technique. Okay. Do y'all have any questions about that? Thank y'all so much. Appreciate that. Cool. Let me check Facebook here and see if there's any questions. So I'll get to your question in just a minute at the end, actually. All right. So I will show you my old pricing now that I just changed from yesterday. And it's not really a change of pricing, but it is an upgrade to. It's kind of an experiment, and it's really not an increase of price. It's actually a decrease of price in one sense, but an increase in another. And I'll show you what I mean right now. Okay, so let me share my screen with you. No, we can show you this. All right. So let me go into the event inside of Creative Commonwealth. So here's a link to my old prices. And all right. So here's my old pricing. It's just a PDF document that, where are we at? So let me know if y'all can't see this document. I think you can, but it's just a PDF document that I pull up on my computer when I show my clients my pricing. Okay, so this was my first package. I just called it the Essentials, and there's stuff there. It's $2,000. This is the Essentials Plus, is what I called it. Comes with an album, another photographer, 2-hour engagement session. And notice the first one there came out with a 1-hour engagement session, and I'll explain why I changed that in a minute too. And then my final package is what I called the luxury package. I had a 3-hour engagement session, 10-hour wedding day, 2 photographers, 3 different albums, $4,500. Okay. No one ever bought this one. I had a couple people buy this one, and most people would get my Essentials. And so that was one of the reasons I decided to change my packages and my prices yesterday, because really I wanted people to be buying this one, the one that's kind of the middle of the road. And Now I'm going to show you my new pricing and why I changed it. All right. Let's see. So Jennifer asks, any tips on pricing when you're first starting out, like only a few weddings in your belt? I kind of went over that. Let's see, I'm going to answer that right now. I kind of went over that, Jennifer, a little bit in the beginning, but when I first started out, I just kind of looked at what other photographers are doing and I tried to undercut them in the beginning. I also was completely willing to do very, very inexpensive weddings for people to get my blog and my SEO rolling, because that's how you start a business. Is you have to do promo work. That's what promo means. It's promotional, so you can promote your business and your stuff. So I did a ton. No, not at all. It's okay. I did a ton of free work and still do a lot of free work, or promo work. Why? It's important for businesses to do that. It's important. It's important for businesses to give back. Okay. And so anybody starting out with the wedding game, I would say post stuff on Craigslist, post stuff on Facebook, say, hey, I'm trying to get weddings. I'm on the come up. I'm in my basement days, and I'm willing to do it for fairly inexpensive price, and just communicate that straight up. Be brave. There are obviously photographers out there who think that that is a bad idea. I disagree. Why? Because my experience shows otherwise. So that's all I have is my experience. I don't and didn't have the money to spend on SEO. I had to hack everything, and it's taken 5 years to get here. But it requires patience and understanding it's a long game. That you're not going to get your market value in the beginning because you're a beginner. You're not experienced enough. Even if your work's good enough, you're still probably not going to get the work, because you just don't. You can't gain trust with clients unless you can show them that you are an experienced wedding photographer. There's just no way around that. And so that's why doing promo work in the beginning or very inexpensive stuff is important, and doing your best at that stuff, and then pimping it out everywhere. So I hope that answered that question. Thank you for asking it, Jennifer. So anyways, let me show you my new packages now. And so let me share that with you. So this is the package that I created yesterday. Now, here's a big change that I did. I noticed that a lot of my clients, well, not a lot of them, about a quarter of them were asking, hey, is there something just simple that doesn't have albums and engagement sessions and all that extra stuff? We're really, really minimal and simple. And I realized that I was attracting those people because that's the way I am. So my vibe was attracting those people. So I decided that I would change my beginning price point there to an elopement price. And so the beginning price stayed the same as the other beginning package. It's just I basically cut it in half and made it really, really a simple thing for my elopement and destination clients to be able to afford. Okay. Then I changed my kind of beginning full wedding day. I changed the name of it to Basics, 6-hour wedding day, one photographer, all that jargon. Credit towards stuff, made $3,000. Okay. The Essentials is the one that I'm trying to get everybody to buy now. This is my idea. So what I did is I worked out how much, and this is also why I added the a la carte here too, but how much, so first of all, what is it that my clients are actually wanting to actually have full wedding days? Most of them need about 8 hours from me. Also, most of them like having 2 photographers. I like to have the extra engagement session in my packages for my clients to give them a save the date image or stuff for their website, stuff like that. And it's also an opportunity for me to get to know them more and for me to make them feel good before the wedding. Okay. It's almost like a test shoot for me. And I tell them that straight up. That way they see the value in that, because some couples are like, I don't want to engage in session. Not important. Okay. It's extra. And I explain to them how valuable and important that is. Okay. And that's why. And then you just have $200 more print and album credit, and it's $500 more. Now, what people ask is, well, can I just get the basics and add on an engagement session? And I'm like, yeah, totally. But why wouldn't you just get the essentials package? Because you also get 2 extra hours, another photographer, and an extra $200 in album credit. So it's valuable and beneficial for them to choose this over this one automatically when I say that. And that's the reason why I added this a la carte section down here. Okay. Because I wanted to show them the value of an engagement section in this context, and how much I charge for each hour of coverage. So the a la carte is really not beneficial unless you're doing an elopement, honestly. But I don't straight up tell them that. They're smart enough to understand that and know that. Okay. So I point out with those 3 items that this is obviously the best value. Okay. Now, for people that want way more, so they want basically a full album involved, they want basically a full wedding day, this is a premium kind of luxury package that I added in there too. Again, just to show them that, hey, there is one above this. So this one is the most valuable, kind of the middle of the road product that I think is the one that I want for them. And I educate them on that. So I sit there and go through each thing very clearly. I will listen to their situation and be like, well, I think this one would be good for you. And I don't always say this one's the right one. I don't always say it is. There are times that I've said more like, you need less stuff, and they've communicated that to me clearly. And I will try. I mean, so I shot a courthouse wedding last month, and I actually tried to sell them this the old version of that package right there, that middle of the road package, and they weren't going to hire me. So what I did is I was like, I didn't have an elopement package at that time, so I was like, well, hey, let me do this for you. I really like y'all. I think we're a great fit together. So let me just let me charge you my engagement session fee, which I think it's 800, 700, and we'll just do that on the courthouse steps there. Okay. And it was very similar to this. And so that made me think, oh, wow, there's people that are just wanting this really minimal, simple one. So and they weren't going to book me unless I provided that for them, is what's interesting. They almost didn't book me. And so I had to regroup because I really liked them. It was this beautiful gay couple that was going to the Durham County Courthouse. It was awesome. So anyways, and then that's my prime package. That's it. And so I really simplified it, minimized it. And, last night I presented this to 2 potential leads, and I'll let y'all know in Creative Commonwealth how that turns out in the next few days. And that's really it as far as why I changed my pricing. I just wanted to see if increasing my price point for my package that I want everybody to buy, if increasing that and then decreasing my top package could possibly point them to this being the most valuable package, if that makes sense. Okay. And I also did that with this. And so I kind of created these 2 arrows, like, hey, this one is obviously more valuable than the basics. This one's more valuable than the prime pound for pound too. And so you're asking, well, Mark, you said you lowered your prices. Yes, I did. I lowered my luxury package down from $4,500 to $4,200 now. It only made sense because I'd never even sold a luxury package yet. So why the hell would I keep it that high, right? So I'm experimenting here, and I lowered it down to $4,200. I increased my middle of the road package by $300. and then I increased my lowest package by $1,000, and then I added on this other one for my clients who are just looking for elopement or just a few hours. Okay, so that's my new pricing package. That's why I increased and decreased my pricing yesterday. Um, and fingers crossed, hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, I'll change it again after a few experiments. This is all a process, and we're all on our own journey, and we're all in different locations, so um, we have different market values. We all have different clients. So please don't try to um, do exactly what another photographer in your area is doing just because they're booking people. Okay, that then you may not be able to book their client. This is why you need to know um, who your client is, what it is they like, where they hang out, where their circles. You know, one of the questions I ask is, what's your favorite alcoholic drink or coffee drink? Um, in the contact form. Why? Like last night, for example, if you're following me on Instagram, you saw that I I had a couple whiskeys sitting there for a couple clients that I was meeting, and um, that showed them that I paid attention to what they care about, and that created some really cool feels. What it cost me $15 to invest in them potentially paying me $3,500 to $4,200. It's a good investment, right? And I'll let you know how that goes. So we got another question down here. So Jennifer asked, so destination weddings, do you charge extra for travel and accommodations? Great question. So I'm gonna close this out. Um, Depending on where it is, I do. So if it's kind of in the southeast, I'm generally fine with taking that because I have a lot of connections that I can stay with people and stuff like that. So I like traveling. It's part of something I enjoy. So I'm not going to be nitpicky on mileage. Some photographers will do the mileage rate, and I just don't care. It's just not important. It's too much extra stuff for me to think about. Not important. Now, here's another scenario though. So I got my first out of country destination wedding that I'm going to be doing next May. I'm going to be going down to I think it's a Sandals Resort down in the Dominican Republic. So freaking stoked. Um, what I did is I told them, we will do my whatever package you want, but I do require that you pay for my travel and room and board. Okay, and I can cover food because I'm a food weirdo, so that works out for me. And it's like, hey, you don't have to cover food. I got that. No worries, right? So they paid for my flight, and I get to stay there for 3 nights, and that's completely on them. That costs more than they're paying me to shoot their wedding, actually. Um, so for me, I get a little mini vacation, and so yes, I do, and it really has to be a conversation between you and your clients. There is no clear cut and dry answer to that from my perspective. Why? Because I want to have a custom, intimate, real relationship with my clients at all times. Okay, and I hope that answered that question. You're welcome, Krista. Thanks for watching. So that's really it. Again, if you are in Creative Commonwealth, sorry, my guys out there. If you're in Creative Commonwealth, you have my old pricing packages and my new ones. Feel free to swipe them, steal everything on there, copy them word for word. I do not care. Okay. What I would encourage you to do if you're gonna swipe all that stuff is to experiment with it. You know, try to maybe send it to some of your friends and be like, hey, what do y'all think about my pricing packages? Would you pay for this? Would your clients pay for this? Why or why not? Okay, ask for help. But again, steal my stuff, steal anything and everything. I do not care. If you're in Creative Commonwealth, you have that ability. If you are watching this and you want to join Creative Commonwealth, we are a community of photographers that help each other. Just like this, we openly share every single step, every detail of all of our processes because we care about each other and we want others to do that for us. Okay. If you're interested in joining, The community, you can go to community.markmea.com, or you can find me on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere else, at Mark Mea or at Mark Mea Photo, and ask me some questions. I love talking about this. This is my passion, helping other people. So uh, please send me your thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching. And this is a recorded live session. So again, please share this with people who you think will find value in it. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Have an amazing day.